Riverdale's drama rolls into another week of moody mystery, and we're here to break it down in more ways than Archie has abs. Stay tuned, it's Screen Junkies News. Hey guys, I'm Sasha Pearl-Raver. Here with me to talk all things Riverdale is Editor-in-Chief of Screen Junkies News, Roth Cornett, and we're bouncing.
A.K.A. Betty Cooper.
Oh, we love this show. This show is so good. Oh, God. All right. Things you need to know about last night's episode.
First of all, spoilers.
Huge spoilers.
All of the spoilers.
So if you haven't watched, bye. Spoiler alert.
But come back when you do.
But if you have watched, welcome back. Oh, man. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's get right into the number one thing that I think we need to discuss, and that is not Robin Givens, although that is great. We will talk about that in a second. But the thing we need to talk about is...
Cheryl is so effing crazy, and clearly incest is in play.
Okay.
And we suspected this in episode 1, I believe.
It was, you brought it up first, and it is definitely something that is creepy and weird. So at the
I like how you're the one that went there.
No. I'm saying your brain was big. I had already seen more episodes, so I knew what happened in this episode, but you brought it up last week because you're a genius. So at the big, first of all, the show starts with an announcement about Jason Blossom's death over the PA system.
Yes.
which is exactly
so strange.
how you deliver news to high school kids. There's going to be macaroni and cheese in the cafeteria, and your student friend died. So there's a big pep rally.
in the brain.
Yeah. Big pep rally, and at the pep rally, we see Cheryl Blossom giving this incredibly uncomfortable speech, and afterward, the football team runs out, led by Archie Andrews, and Cheryl, creepy-ass Cheryl, sees Archie as her brother Jason.
Exactly, and what's amazing about that moment is that here's what I'm loving about the show, why I think it's so much fun. First of all, it's this insane reference back to Twin Peaks, but also this Lady Macbeth moment of like her ghosts haunting her. And you immediately think, we've already suspected Cheryl. She clearly is lying about what happened on the boat.
Yes.
And I would just say that I now am counting her out entirely, though, as a suspect, because it's way too early for her to have confessed. And she says, I'm guilty, but guilty of what? You just went after Betty like a crazy person.
Like a crazy person. But you're also, we have to talk about the lust in her eyes as she sees Archie running. It is a weird, incestuous, we're twins, but we're lovers kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And the whole setup with the boat and what happened on the boat, I said last week, he was a water polo player and a football player. There's no way he couldn't have swum. So what they were saying is they had a plan, he was gonna disappear, but then he was supposed to come back, but he wasn't supposed to come back. It's very nebulous at this point.
I think, so as they're getting on the boat, she says, are you scared? And I feel like they were running away together to live in incestuous love nests, like Flowers in the Attic, which I am not complaining about. Also a great book from my childhood. Welcome.
So we just saw a little tiny clip of Miss Grundy. Miss Grundy, who is adamantly saying to Charlie, geez, I keep doing that today, saying to Archie, we cannot tell people that we were together on 4th of July. Because of the Cheryl, weird, Archie, Jason confluence, I'm starting to wonder if Miss Grundy has a creepy thing for gingers, and she was also having an affair with Jason.
I think it's entirely possible. My feeling about Jason and the twins in general is that there's something very broken in that family, right?
Very. We've never seen the parents. We don't know what's going on. We just know that something's up, and it's creepy and weird. And they're very rich.
They're very rich, and clearly Alice Cooper has a problem with this family because she says everything they touch is poison. My guess is that there's something went down between her and the parents at a certain point. The family is very, very creepy. And maybe Jason is just incredibly, like, he was abused or they were abused, and now they've entered into this affair to comfort each other. And he's just, as abused people sometimes are, very overly sexualized, because I say something was passing between him and Jughead in the hallway, too. Did you notice that?
I did not, but that is very interesting.
There was a moment.
Well, Jughead, we finally got a little insight into what was going on with Archie and Jughead, why he was so hurt,
I know.
why he was so mad. They were supposed to take a road trip together on 4th of July. July, and he got dumped last minute so that Archie and Miss Grundy could have a weird rendezvous that is very Lolita-esque in By the Water's Edge. But I'm starting to feel like Miss Grundy did that to set Archie up.
I think it's entirely possible. I would also say that I think there's still more to whatever happened between Archie and Jughead.
For sure.
Because it was clear that Jughead is often picked on. We saw a little bit of Reggie finally, and he was picking on Jughead. Archie sort of came to his defense, but there was a moment of hesitation before. I think there's probably complicated layers between what went down with it. Maybe they just started to spread apart as friends do in mid-adolescence. By the way, hilarious that these are sophomores. Have we discussed that yet?
This is the 90210 thing. They're paying homage to Luke Perry. And the fact that they all look like they are easily 25, although...
And are in fact 25, I think.
Charlie, who I name-checked earlier accidentally, Charlie Feldman was like, I just figured out that KJ Apa, the guy who plays Archie, is 19. And I was like, nope. Gross, can't do that. But so he's getting better and better and more charming. The Betty and Archie thing this week where she was like, we can be friends, we can't be friends. He starts playing his crappy music and she's like, I can't do this, and sort of runs off. But Betty has a moment in this episode where I'm like, she did it.
She did it, exactly.
She did it.
So I will say, if anything, this episode for me cleared Cheryl because it's way too early for us to know who the killer is. I was very confused about, she said, I'm guilty, but guilty of what?
Guilty of what? And that's at the very end.
Yeah.
Also, if Cheryl is this heinous person, why do you invite her over to hang at your house, Betty?
Yeah.
That's very weird. You would never do that.
And when she was, can I groom you?
Yes, please.
When she was grooming her and lovingly grooming her, I was like, she's either hitting on her or she's about to stab that in her eyeball or both. I'm unclear. She's so crazy. But then also Betty has this moment where she looks
switches and you're like,
on a dime, get out of my house or I'm gonna kill you. I was like, the Coopers are really, and then Alice Cooper in the morgue, they are really painting a case for me that the Coopers did it.
Well, but that's what's so great, and that's why I think probably they're the red herring.
Yeah, probably.
Although, I am wondering if Betty is headed for the loony bin like her sister.
Yeah.
Because something is totally
Because the
up.
mom is nuts.
Mom is
clearly
nuts. And I love that she's hiding behind journalistic integrity by paying off the morgue guy to find out things about Jason Blum's autopsy.
And she also is like a cult leader trying to insulate and isolate her daughter from all other people in her life.
She's totally gaslighting her.
She's gaslighting her.
It's nuts. Okay, on to some more positivity, though. We did not do justice to Josie and the Pussycats
and we
last week.
want to formally apologize right now to
please.
Josie and the Pussycats. And you.
So sorry. And to you, viewer, for not giving them their due.
Because they are amazing.
Yeah.
Because they are amazing and they need their own show, and I need them a lot more on we're going to be getting them a lot more on this show. Do we
look at that.
suspect any of the Pussycats? I don't. They're too
Not
good.
even a little bit. And this homecoming crazy it's Josie and the Pussycats singing Sugar, the most known song probably that they have, in a pouring rainstorm. You can see all of Vancouver just bringing the thunder, and production was like, yeah, we don't have time to halt, just get wet, just get out there and dance around and get wet. And they introduced Josie's mother, Robin Givens.
Robin Givens, people. So this brings us back to the fact that this show is sort of like tipping the hat to previous teen dramas.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you remember this, Sasha, but Robin Givens got her start on a little show called Head of the Class.
Which I watched every single week. Hey, Robin Givens looking so good, girl.
In which she played a super genius.
Oh, yes.
Who always had to fight the mathletes or the team leads at my high school, Bronx Science.
I loved Head of the Class
so much.
And to see her back in there, they just keep doing, I mean, they are so aware of what they're creating. Now, I saw something online where people were getting really annoyed because Barb from Stranger Things has not yet shown up.
Yes.
Spoiler, she will be there next
frustration.
week. She will be there next week, so you have something to look forward to. But they keep giving us stuff. Like, they know exactly what they're delivering.
They do. And I want to give the show credit here, too, for doing something that I'm really enjoying. And it's going to sound superficial, but it's in the outfits. And I'll tell you why. Because they are both anachronistic in terms of I guess it's not anachronistic. I've misused that word because they're not set in the past and doing things in the future. But they're hearkening back to older, the cheerleading outfits are very much from the 50s, kind of what Betty is wearing and Veronica. They hearken back to the old comic books. But then you have very updated versions of other characters like the Josie and the Pussycats look much more modern.
Yeah.
And it's working to create this very this undercurrent of like a surreal environment. Like this town is not quite right. It's not totally up to speed with modern times, but the modern times are still invading.
That is so interesting.
And it's very subtly done.
Yes.
So I want to give them credit for that. And I'm sorry, but the relationship between Betty, Archie, and Veronica is so well done in this show.
So well done. I love it. And I love the way that they've created the triangulation.
And that Veronica loves Betty. She wants to be her friend. Sorry,
She does. No, the one part of the show that actually took me out for a second is you're so right. They are creating this fascinating world. One of the scenes that I loved was them sitting in the chocolate shop and sort of dealing with those milkshakes which are so iconic within the Archie comics, although the fact that Betty wasn't actually drinking hers made me upset. But
or is it a hint? I mean, the poor girl is
she's got some stuff. But the one thing that bugged me was Veronica, by way of apology, brings flowers.
Yes.
And Magnolia Bakery cupcakes.
Yes.
And I was like, well, why wouldn't you have gotten cupcakes from Pop's chocolate shop? That was the one thing where it was an outside influence that felt like it skewed the world, because they are creating a great insular world.
Right, where you feel like you're trapped in this environment.
And you're not sure what year it is, and you're not sure where it is. But I will say the one other thing that is bothering me is I love what they did with Josie and the Pussycats. I love what they're doing with the relationship. I love that this is sort of like a feminist and aware show. But Kevin, man, token gay Kevin.
Is it bothering you?
It's bothering me that they made the joke, I'm the token gay character, but he actually is kind of the token gay character.
Right, but my hope for Kevin, because it's a TV series, is that they will start to develop him more and more, and it won't sort of fall back on these tropes. Like maybe they are, and I'm not saying that this is happening, but maybe they are smartly setting up the tropes to undercut them eventually, which is what I hope.
Because we had, at the end of last episode, him and Moose going off into the woods, and his dad is the sheriff, and I wanted to see more of what actually went on with him.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
Still, nonetheless, this show is so addictive.
It's so fun. I hope people are enjoying it.
Yes. And that's what we want to know. Are you loving the show? Are you watching? Do you like it? And who do you think did it? Because now Betty is prime suspect #1. Let us know in the comments below. You can tweet us at SJ News. And we'll be back here with more soon, because it's sugar. Screen Junkies News.